It is here, we are here again with Uzima Wellness program, where we highlight community issues, we educate, we empower you, we change your attitude so that you take action and make our community become a better place and a healthy society. So today, without wasting much time, we are here again, and we are still going on with gender-based violence issues, because we have not yet exhausted. I remember the last time we talked about myths, we have not yet exhausted, but also today we also want to highlight a very pressing issue that is affecting us. But before I get into what we are going to talk about today, my name is Bernard, and welcome back again. I want to welcome again my friend, my colleague again, to introduce himself, and before we continue, stay tuned. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes, it has been long.
It has been long. What a show.
Yes, what a show.
Yes, it's good to go for a break kidogo, yeah? So that we can look on how we can do better.
Yes.
So welcome, guys. And if you have not subscribed,
Yes.
finya hiyo kitu.
Finya kabisa.
Yes.
Support us. Usingoje sije ati kitu ifanye. Saa hizi ndio time unafaa kutusupport.
Kabisa. Yes, my name is Jerome. A clinician, gender expert, very passionate about this thing. So twende nalo. Yes.
So today we are talking about something that is sensitive but necessary, because we are talking about gender-based violence in schools, especially with our kids, especially those who are still in school. So it's very common, and sometimes we are silent about it, and sometimes we don't give it much of highlight. So today we want to talk about it because there's different cases that are happening, but we are just assuming. And most of the time, like the other time we talked about myths and misconception, sometimes we give statements that justifies actions that are not legally correct. So we want to see how can we be able to address these challenges, and we are here today with the expert who is going to take us through step by step understanding, because I know he has gone through those experiences. He has handled different cases of young people who have been sodomized, who have been raped or defiled, or who have been sexually harassed. So that is the essence. That is where we are going to focus on. So when we talk about, of course, the first time we talked about gender-based violence, and you defined for us. So in school, what are gender-based violence forms that happen mostly in schools?
Mostly in schools, and majority being the underage in school exists. If we start from primary and to high school,
yes,
some of them they are still below 18 years. Most cases there that happen is defilement, in which that a male teacher would want to advance in terms of sexuals to this girl, so that maybe he can reward more marks, or he can give some favors. And for a girl who is naive and fears failing, and knowing from home the pressure that you must pass, and here is an opportunity, she might take the bait, and end up having sexual relationship with the teacher.
Yeah, now that becomes a sexually transmitted education, or marks.
Maybe we can call it like that, because it wasn't by merit. And you see, for the teacher, we expect all teachers to know that children needs to be taken care of, and when a parent gives a child to school, we believe that is a safe haven for our children. And sometimes I refer schools as the best family planning, if you can agree with me, because during this period of schooling, there's this fear haufai kufanya ngono ukiwa ni mwanafunzi. If someone is seen by a student or a pupil, it has to raise some alarms. And men think that ukitumia ni mwanafunzi, mtoto wa shule, ina keep off. But there is this other aspect of law that comes in, that this is a child. Apart from being a student or a pupil, is a child. So the legal aspect of that age, kama mwanaume mwalimu, you need to look into it strictly. So if you think as a teacher you need to advance your sexual bad behavior, in fact, to the student, you rather go start looking outside. That it should never be a student. So for the girl, having promised to pass, definitely she'll give it, but the law will take effect once it's reported. The problem comes when the teacher covers these bad behaviors. And there was a story I was looking into.
Just give us, have you handled such an emotional situation in regards to a student being defiled in school, and how did you handle that?
A story of a school in Likoni. This is a male student in high school, and this is a male teacher. This boy is not good in Swahili, and the other part that this teacher knows, the father is not there in that family. So this male teacher tries to bring in father figure into this boy. At the same time, tries to tell this boy, I'll help you pass in Kiswahili. Okay. Now, this teacher tries to bring this boy close by teaching the boy Kiswahili after classes. And he ended up even giving some drinks, the juice, and they end up being very close. With time, this boy got the trust of this male teacher. Then one evening, when the boy had gone for the Swahili lessons in his house, remember the teacher stays within the compound of the school. And this teacher told this boy, I love you. So the boy thought it's okay to be loved, but he could not understand which love this teacher was talking about. But that first time, the boy rejected and pushed this teacher away. I said, how do you love me? Okay? The teacher told the boy, it's just love. Sina ubaya, nakupenda. So the boy went, then came back again for the lessons. And when this teacher pushed this boy to the wall and he started kissing him. So the boy tried to fight back, but the teacher calmed him down. He ran away.
The boy?
The boy. Unfortunately, some of the students saw that boy coming from the house running. Then they called the boy and they told him, we are not happy with the way you go there. That teacher, kuna venye sio mzuri. But the boy akaambia, hamna shida. Remember here, the boy even is not ready to disclose what is happening. Okay? So then it went on and on. But the boy started now even failing other subjects. Because now this boy was wondering, how is this teacher kissing me, telling me he loves me? See, now, because he could not be able to disclose to the other teachers, to even to the mother, until when some boys got hold of him and told him, you have to tell us what has been happening in that room. You cannot be that close to this teacher. So the boy was called by the principal, and he was not able to disclose it. But the principal could see something is happening also. So what the principal did, when the school went for the midterm, he called the mother and told the mother, can you be close to your son and try to talk to him so that you can understand what is happening. This boy is performing bad, not the way he used to, and he isolates himself. Most of the time he's lonely, is not the way he used to be. So go home, be close, talk to your son. So when they came home, after 1 week, the mother, as he was trying to do some arrangement in the house, a letter came out of the drawer. So the boy had written the letter addressing the mother, apologizing that he feels he has failed her of the behavior that has been happening in school. But now he feels he wants to commit suicide. So that is what caught the attention. Now ikakuwa inaonekana something is not right. So the mother sat the boy down, reassured her, because you see the good thing, there was some alarm. So the mother could be able to find a way to talk to this boy. So from there, that is when the boy opened up and he was brought to the facility. We had a lengthy talk with the boy, and the boy was very remorseful, and to some extent could feel he is just useless. And the mother was crying because the mother felt like, is it because the father is not there? That's why this teacher is taking advantage of bringing my son close. And the mother said they really feel bad that the father is not there. Okay? So from there we had to follow up. We did the examination, but the good thing was the boy had not been penetrated. So this teacher was initiating this boy to that behavior. So the boy was taken through counseling, and by the time the teacher was being followed up, the teacher went away. So we never got the teacher. So we never understood whether was it a school that transferred or
it was not followed up.
It was not followed up because when we could not get the teacher, we concentrated to the child's health. So he was able to undergo the counseling sessions, and the boy was able to get back.
How is he now?
The boy is doing fine, and the performance is improving. The mother is happy. Yeah.
From that story, so many stories kind of they relate, because I'm wondering, why is it that the parents most of the time they are the last one to know about these cases, and they are the ones who have given birth to these children, but you will find the child finding it very hard to explain these things to their parents. And even this boy, it took a lot of intervention. And there are a lot of children who are going through this thing, but the parents, you find that they are the last one. So where does the problem start? Because when they're still babies, that relationship, that bond is there. But when they start growing, where is the disconnect? Where do that disconnect start until you as a parent, you become the last one to know about what is happening to your child?
I think as you are growing up, even you yourself, maybe at some point, the way you are relating with your parent, there are some fear that maybe was instilled in you, and you remain to be afraid to share some of the things. Or maybe we are not being friends to our children as it should be. You know, when you are friends, you can discuss anything, and you can know from what point your child is able to understand, and when you are able to introduce some topics. Now this should be life skills, way of living. So once the parents are not close to their children, and if you threaten your child, pengine amevunja glasi tu kwa nyumba, unamwangalia unamtupia jicho na kesho thamos inapasuka, unamwangushia coffee. So you can imagine, and the way parents also are afraid of discussing sexual matter to their children, and even introducing it, you need to be smart enough. So imagine such thing happening, then this child coming to tell mom, dad, fulani ananitongoza. You know, there are some parents who will make up on tayari asha kutongoza. Things are moving. Vitu zishalipuka.
And they just assume wewe ndio mwenye makosa.
Wewe ndio mwenye makosa.
Because I think the first step is looking how do we start this conversation on sexuality, because even if I approach my parent when I was still a child, they will just tell you don't walk with someone, hiyo ni tabia mbaya ama tabia mbaya. They don't tell you what exactly why is happening. I remember one day when I was watching a TV, the soap operas, and it reached a place where the couples were kissing on TV. So what my dad did is to switch to another gospel TV. So we were left here with my brother. We are wondering. And then he just said that is bad manners, and we are all quiet. There is nothing after that. But I felt that at that moment, now looking back, that was an opportune moment for him
to bring that topic. Yes.
So when you have restrictions on talking about having these conversations, I think that is also it's giving pressure to the kids, especially when you started. I talked about sexually transmitted marks or exams. So you'll find this child or this young girl, she will need to submit to what the teacher is saying, because at home she has been told we don't want you to fail.
Yes.
And do everything possible to make sure you pass. So she cannot go back home and tell the parents that this and this is happening, because the parents have already given her the ultimatum. So it makes it hard. So that is why you find that most of them, they will decide, let me just do it. It's just one time. But it ends up hurting them, and even if you get those marks, it's not going. They are not based on merit.
But now, at this time, with the Gen Z, we call them Gen Z generation.
Yes.
And you yourself, if you find a child having a relationship, or if you get to know a child is having a relationship with an adult, or even with just an age mate, are you going to report it to the parents, or are you going to help out to solve that problem? Ama itaacha kila mzazi na mtoto wake. And if as a parent, ukija waambiwe niliona mtoto wako na fulani, how will you react? Okay? You know, we have come to a point that we are very defensive to our children.
And we are more into individualism.
Yes, we feel they are innocent, well-mannered. So even yule utamwona ni introvert, mtoto wako ametulia, maybe unaweza mjudge vile ametulia. But dakika 3 tu, you know, akitoka kisha umana. Unajua inanikumbusha jana the way one of the parents told me, hizo siku 3 zenye nilitoka ndio imetoa hii matunda iko hapa. See, imagine this is a girl who is pregnant of another adult neighbor. Okay? So the mother is bitter and say only 3 days ikatoka ndio ishakuwa. See, now you know, most of the time mimi kusema ile kunaachia mwingine ama kila mtu ajipange, it is affecting us. You remember sometimes back I don't know whether it's in 1996, 1990s, kulikuwa na njaa Sudan. So katika ile harakati, a journalist from South Africa took a photo of a child. Ananja mtoto malnourished, hana hata nguvu ya kusimama. Then there was a vulture behind. Have you ever come such? The vulture ilikuwa inategea ule mtoto afanye nini? Afu. Then aweze kumula ule mtoto. So these journalists got a lot of awards, because it was one of the photo
emotional.
But now, after getting the awards, this journalist, I think he committed suicide. The reason why he committed suicide is one of the guys aliuliza ule journalist, you got the photo, you left, you never told us what happened next. Is that child alive? This guy nafikiri alisema yeye alichukua, sijui the flight was leaving, akakimbia aende zake. So this guy concluded, akaambia the journalist that I think in that scenario there were two vultures. You, the journalist, and the real vulture. Because wewe, in the event you mtoto hakusurvive, pia you played part kumua huyo mtoto. So kuna vile sisi tumekuwa tunasema, tunaona we don't act. You see a problem but you don't act. You leave it to someone else, but that problem ended it ends up causing harm.
Do you feel like the old way should come back? Because I know the child was for the community. So if you do anything that is harmful, any other adult who finds you is going to beat you, or is going to punish you, or is going to. So you are so mindful of your environment. But right now, you can see a child misbehaving, but you don't want to come in and even rescue or do anything, because you say he has a parent. So do you feel like that kind of system should come back, or what should be done to address this challenge? Because now people are more into themselves. It's about my child until something happens to them. That is when now they come out. But it's all about my child, my things, everything. So it confines, it makes other people not to get into what is happening and even offer assistance.
You know, when the old system was being kind of abolished, maybe because of some laws that were brought up, they never came up with solutions, alternatives, ways of how to handle such cases. And the society, if you go to the rurals, some of those ways are still applied. The town setup, that's where the problems are, and because of everyone trying to say rights. So still there should be a way of how to report. If you telling the parent there's something is happening to that child, you do it. It's up with the parents to decide on the way to go about. See uchape, like now a case the other day, this boy had come from playing around 7 years, and the dad amwambia he should be at home by 7. So this boy came at home 7:15. The father was there. Ambia, where are you from? It's 7:15. Unfortunately, the father was drunk. He took a knife, kamkata kichwa. Okay, and he never bothered. So the neighbors were the ones who came to help this boy. See, so ni sisi wenyewe tuweze kuwa na njia mbadala ya kuweza kusaidia hawa watoto. Lakini sasa you see the problem with the issues of schools and the way kind of this transfer, you know, you cannot, if a teacher has been found to violate a child, you should not transfer that teacher. That teacher faces the law at that particular school, sababu utakuwa na transfer problem to another school. In which I saw another case around 3 years ago. Even the mother to this teacher alikuja akasema, me I'm tired with my son. Okay, imagine the mother ameona kuwa the son who is a teacher, that is his behavior. So the mother said, I'm tired. Okay, so that transfer issues is bringing problems. But now the teachers, I think the teachers have been taken through guidance and counseling, but they have not been trained properly on matters GBV. On matters how are you able to pick something when you are with a student, something is not fine. Because even you can imagine, you know, this child has been coming to school by 7. Then he starts coming home to school late. You should be concerned. You should link up with the parent to know why. Then the parent maybe atakwambia, she usually leaves home at 6. And now that 1 hour anafaa kuwa kwa shuleni. Basi anafika saa 3, saa 2. Now it's for you to go find out during this time who anaenda wapi. You can be able to pick. Ukiwa shuleni, this child has always been happy. Ako interactive, ana participate mzuri shuleni. But all of a sudden you realize this child is not active. Ameanza kujitenga. We still need to find out. Rather, some teachers may end up punishing these students. Because they feel like wamekosea, they don't want to find out. What I will advise, wherever you see a problem, don't overreact. Kuna mali walikuwa wanasema, when the water is boiling, you cannot see your image, right? But when it's calm, you can see your image from there. So if you are high, you cannot solve that problem. And kosa si lazima kila wakati liwe na punishment. Maybe you can take this person through a therapy and that problem will be solved. So teachers should be careful and should be watchful, and they'll be able to help. And for parents, wherever you are told by the teacher, your child is nowadays and behave differently, now shirikianeni, come together, sort it.
It's interesting because now the teacher, they have to step up, but at the same time they are also the perpetrators. You get it? Now it complicates the situation, because now if the people whom you are expecting to step up are the ones who are perpetrating all these things. And one of my concern is these cases are happening, but they are being underreported. Like maybe we can have only 6% of these cases are being reported. There were at least the ones that are reaching to the hospital that are being reported. So my issue is, how do we strengthen the reporting? Because if they are more reported, they'll be able to, we'll see now this is a big issue, we need to address it. And if they are being underreported, it's very hard to push that so that people can realize this is a very huge issue that is affecting the society or the children that we have. So how do we strengthen that reporting? And you have also mentioned about that relationship between parents and teachers and children. How do you enhance? Because if the child was happy and suddenly you see they are not happy, that is also a concern. So in your own perspective, how do we increase this so that the cases are more reported, and even these survivors, I don't want to call them victims, but survivors, they feel free to even come out and report, and even seek for assistance? Because most of them, it takes an intervention of an expert like you for them to get that assistance. But those ones who cannot be able to access that assistance at that moment, how do we encourage them? What actions can we be able to take to ensure that they are able to report and they can be easily assisted when they need assistance?
The most important thing that runs around gender-based violence, it's attitude. People have got, I don't know whether it's bad or poor attitudes, and people think if you are not taking it upon you, it will affect you alone. The attitude I'm talking of is when you see a child being violated, you keep quiet. You feel like you cannot stand in as a witness. You feel like you maybe will be intimidated. What people need to know, there is the law that protects even you yourself being coming out to shouting out that something is happening. Let it be everyone's business to be active and to be able to identify something is happening. But this attitude, after all, si mtoto wangu, has to change. But the moment it happens to you, that's when you realize things are not okay. So the parent, the teachers, the neighbors, if you're passing, just wherever you see a child, let it be your responsibility to see that child is safe. Yeah? You see something wrong, report, and people will come out. Like a case of this boy mwenye alidungwa kisu. You see these neighbors who came in. Within few hours, there was a child activist who came out. And the child at the moment is in safe custody. See, so it doesn't hahitaji anyone that Akwe is your specialist into that. First, being human, it should be like that. It's where if you don't know, the next person knows it. Just relay the information. Then that mobilization, that linkage, it has a idea. Yeah.
That is interesting, and thank you for highlighting all those things. And we hope that parents out there, they can start having this kind of conversations with their kids, because it starts at home. That attitude that you've talked about starts at home. How you relate with the kid will determine if they are going to respond when they have issues, or they're going to keep quiet. And right there, even with the teachers, you've also mentioned that we need to enhance or strengthen the trainings so that they are able to see and handle, see the signs and even be able to handle these cases, so that we have young children or children who are in a healthy and they feel the environment is safe for them to thrive.
And maybe when the curriculum is being developed by the Ministry of Education, they are focused on mathematics, English, social sciences, all those things. But the other part of life skill, it's like it hasn't been done. It hasn't been put even into the curriculum on how to survive these vices, because the truth is the numbers are high, not being reported, and some school even they are solving it internally. See? So the Ministry of Health will be proactive in those schools. Let there be, in the police there is a gender desk. In the hospital there is the same. Now we need to have them in schools. So say we have guidance and counseling. What are you guiding and counseling? And remember, wherever someone has been taken into account, even the rest will will learn, will be afraid of doing it, especially when it comes to teachers.
Thank you so much. So maybe the last word, especially the action, if you were in that shoe, what message will you want the audience to get from today's discussion?
The message is very clear. Let everyone take responsibility of providing safety to these children at school. We are talking of the underage.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
And for the adults, those in the universities, unajua wale ndio wanakanyagia. And you will be given less marks, or you are given supplementary because you refused to cooperate with the lecturer. But the truth is, most of the time, if you stand on your grounds, even if it's that supplementary, it will come and it will go. Okay? And if you feel like you are not safe, still report that lecturer. Yes. You can be assigned another lecturer, and you cannot tell me your lecturer will be having that bad manners. Yeah, someone will listen to you, and your case will be sorted.
Yeah,
so don't just accept sexual violation because you want to pass the exams. And that will make us now, because you can imagine agreeing to having sexual relationship with this lecturer that you are passing even without reading. So what qualification are you bringing outside? These will be quacks.
The quack doctors. Thank you so much. And the message is very clear. We encourage you, the audience, the fact that you have been with us up to this moment, it means you are a committed and a very valued audience. We encourage you, share with us your story about these cases that we are talking about, as it happened, and what actions were taken, and what do you think should be done to address this increasing gender-based violence in schools, especially to the kids who are still in school. What do you think should be done? Thank you so much.